This is the first time I'm recording video in these glasses. The second time I will be recording video in these glasses once we break through all-time high for Bitcoin this month of October. Today we're speaking about this second crazy narrative, short-term crazy narrative, and I will explain to you why it actually will be pumping, why it will have attention. And I think I finally figured out the question for myself, why election meta is not going up. I can give you the short answer currently, because people are pussies. And I will expand on the answer moving further into today's presentation to you. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. You are not getting this type of content anywhere else. Let's start. To understand the next narrative, we have to check out the chart of BTC dominance. I was saying that alt season has started and that from here we should be moving lower. We moved lower, however, we had a giant reversal back here. So I was wrong short term on BTC dominance situation out there. The person who was right is actually Benjamin Cohen. And what he's saying is that I think BTC dominance tops around 60%. And he's, to be honest, quite consistent with this opinion. So we tend to kind of follow him on this message currently and understand what is happening and what it will bring for the market. BTC dominance moving further into 60% means that 60% of all of the money in crypto will be in Bitcoin. What does it mean? It means that either the market is scared shitless and we are correcting, or BTC is pumping up higher, but it's the only thing that pumps and people are naturally flowing towards BTC. BTC also grows in price, which means that it starts to acquire a larger market share of the whole crypto market as well. And that's why dominance is going 60% up. I am a proponent, I'm the only person on this market who said that new all-time high for Bitcoin will actually be coming in October. You start hearing people saying it here and there. I think they forget one thing, one very, very important thing. Here's what they forget specifically. Please, if you are a crypto influencer and you would be screaming about Bitcoin all-time high this month, use this phrase. We will see Bitcoin new all-time high this month. I said it after Stan said it. If not, you'll be a bitch. Guys, I'm not the one making the rules. This is just how this world works. These are the rules of physics. I read this in the Bible. You just have to follow, you have to acknowledge this in the first place. Again, I'm not the one who is making the rules. Coming back to the topic of the video, I told you that I figured out why election meta is not picking up at this stage. And actually this makes me so fucking bullish at this stage. The main reason why election meta is not picking up at this stage is because we have a bunch of pussies in the marketplace currently. We had a pumpage from Murat tokens, but why they pumped is because he attracted a bunch of liquidity from people with money, VCs, people who entered the markets. And I do think that general like default Solana Degen, they were definitely stable coins. These guys, they cannot hold their own shit. Like they're 17 years old on Adderall with it's crazy stuff, right? So they probably were buying into green candles, and currently on the current correction they're probably selling, which is just crazy to me. They're probably selling despite the fact that a bunch of influencers are already screaming about like new all-time highs, about BTC going higher. Guys, you have to follow the rules. I'm not the one who made the rules. I called it first. You know, you repeat after me. You know, you watch this channel. You have to acknowledge. You have to acknowledge the presence, right? You have to acknowledge who called it first and whose calls you are using, right? Moving further, the reason people bought Murat tokens is because they had someone to tell them, buy this is good, and we have outside liquidity. So this pussy behavior was kind of a bit decreased by present someone like that. But as mentioned, Murat tokens, they topped already, and we see a range of pussy behavior on the marketplace. So Memecoins are fucking dead already, right? And what we all have to understand is that despite the fact we are not seeing a large correction in BTC, on the range of assets like altcoins and memecoins, the correction already happened, right? People de-risked, people sold because they expect us to go to the bottom of the range. Despite we see a lot of bullish people on the marketplace, on Twitter, right? But they're not voting with the wallets currently. This is a very, very important thing. Back in May, I was screaming that we should be seeing new all-time high in May. And I do believe that it got picked up by other influencers on the marketplace. They started to scream about the same thing. Too much people actually entered longs, and that's why market makers and manipulators, they decided to end the party. I do believe I'm the reason, and my channel is the reason, that we do not see new Bitcoin all-time high in May. I do believe that I am the reason for that. Currently, what I do love is, despite the fact that I scream about it, other influencers start to scream about it after me. Guys, you have to follow the rules, otherwise you know who you are. You have to follow them. I'm not the one who made them in the first place. You know that people do not follow. They do not vote with the money currently. They are afraid. They are scared. This is such a bullish thing in the marketplace currently. I'm seeing traders, they're in trades, they're out of trades, they're not holding any shit out there. And this is why I think what is happening with election meta currently, why it's not picking up. It will be picking up once this pussy behavior will be diminished. And it will be diminished by BTC, new all-time high, and by much more tension in the election space one more time. Because with a lot of attention, like this pussy behavior, it will get decreased, it will get removed. But you have to understand, if you are capable of buying in currently, and if you are capable of holding this thing, actually holding this thing, we should be seeing crazy gains and crazy results quite short term. Like, it's probably one of the best trades, because it's the same situation as it was in September, with people being bearish, saying we're going to 40k. Who was fucking consistent? Who told you to buy into your assets and hold into your assets? I did. And I even provided you the assets to buy into, mostly in private Discord, right? So not much on YouTube, I think, right? So this is the overview of the situation out here. I do think that this pussy behavior should be ending at a certain point of time. However, coming back to our topic of BTC dominance. Benjamin Cohen was sharing that we are topping at 60% at this stage, which means that we probably, based on my review, we should be going higher, and BTC should be stealing most of the attention. Some meme coins, they should continue to move as well, because if you remember February and March situation, I had the interview with the CEO of Godbit, and he was saying that the reason meme coins are actually going up and going higher is essentially because institutions are trading meme coins out there as well, and they're pushing the supplies, they're pushing the volumes themselves as well. We'll have to understand these things as well. The bet I am making is actually on runes and on Bitcoin NFTs and on Bitcoin ecosystem to come back as well. And it's considered that at this stage, although you actually already see early signs of accumulation at the chart, you can already see this is happening on certain projects out there, right? This is something that is happening. Why this will attract the attention of market, BTC ecosystem? Because people will feel FOMO that they missed the move of BTC, and they would want to kind of make some money based on it as well, right? The peak that I am proposing for mine, that I will be talking, not even proposing, I will be talking about today, is Based Angels rune on BTC. This is actually the call from Connor on chain. So what I think you should do, you should type in your YouTube search Connor on chain and go subscribe to his channel. He was right with a bunch of calls recently. This is one of the calls from his channel as well. I have to be honest with you. I was not following runes ecosystem much. I just like this call. I see a lot of logic in this. I will explain this to you currently. I see why short term it might do quite well. And this is, to be honest with you, the only peak I entered short term out of this meta. And I will be talking to you about it. One more time, one more important thing as well is that currently we are at around my entry point as well, which is something I was specifically waiting for, because we were a bit higher quite recently, which also is quite important if you think about that, right? So what is Based Angels rune? Connor on chain explained it very well. These are your retardio coins on Bitcoin. It's essentially the same narrative. They also do have the NFT collection. With new BTC all-time high, we should be seeing another leg up from Retardio. One more time, this is a meme coin from Murat. I do believe that it was Apu, and Retardio has another leg up in them, just following the price action of Giga, right? And since people are pussies, they will most likely continue to buy into some Murat coins out there as well. So from some of his peaks, I do expect another leg up, right? We have autism pushing and pumping. We have a bunch of FOMO from autism in the marketplace currently. We probably have PSYOP catching up on Solana as well, right? And this is just your play that is very nicely connected to FOMO of people out there, and it's also appealing to Solana shitboys exit liquidity out there, right? Solana shitboys, they will come as exit liquidity to this thing the same way they essentially came into Sushi, 100%. So what are you betting on? If you're buying this thing, if you're considering buying this thing, you're betting on new BTC all-time high, you're betting on a retarded new leg up, you're betting on form of people from BTC all-time high, you're betting on BTC Echo surging up in connection to this format as well. And another reason why I do think that runes should do quite well short term is because there is very, very nice upside in this BTC Echo and runes, because it's pretty much considered dead for half a year at this stage. It's a very, very nice time to accumulate if you think about that. And BTC all-time high is a very, very nice catalyst for these things to pump as well, right? Thinking further and moving further. You will also play on the form of retarded form of autism, right? Because a lot of people, they're salty. Like I shared in one of the chats that I'm in that I called autism quite early, and the guy started to hate me, like salty. I'm not going to argue with like 16 years old fat fucks behind the PC, but this is just something that happened, right? Because it happened in the midst of yesterday correction as well, and probably people are a bit salty as well because their money are essentially going down if they are in the wrong assets as well. And everyone is scared shitless currently. You have to understand these things as well. So this is just a call from Connor on Chain that I shared that I think should be doing quite well. It's appealing to the exit liquidity. Is the same thing with Sushi as well. The only thing is your exit liquidity are poor Solana shitboys that can hold. So like there is not a lot of money you can unfortunately take from them, right? However, it should be quite nice still. And the narrative is very, very easy to understand for outsiders. Like all the other things you probably would have to PvP with the current BTC ecosystem holders, right? But this thing is appealing to outside exit liquidity. It's like retarded Bitcoin. Retarded Bitcoin is at $1.6 million market cap. Is it cheap? Do you think it has upside? I think anyone who hears this phrase would think that, yeah, it should have upside because Bitcoin and Bitcoin ecosystem is way larger than Solana itself, right? So coming back to our situation, I explained why people are pussies about election meta, why it's not picking up currently. I explained this to you, and this is why I see a huge upside. Currently, I will tell you what will be happening next on the marketplace. People do risks heavily, which kind of tells me that this is exactly the situation to buy and to hold, and that we are actually going higher because people are already de-risked heavily because they're pussies, despite the fact some of them are bullish on Twitter. They're not doing the things that they're saying, right? You always have to check the wallets and what people are doing with the wallets. And we have the narrative of BTC dominance going to 60% with Benjamin Coven, and he was quite right on this thing, right? So what I do think is that BTC will reach new all-time high and reach 60% dominance. BTC Echo will start to surge up, right? Certain meme coins, they should be doing well. Focus on meme coins that did not pump. Have charts like this. If you would check out the chart on Trump, we are at the resistance point for this movement right now, right? So we have a huge movement to all-time high. So you have to understand these things as well. And I think that coins that exhausted their upside, they might have last leg up, like Retarded and Apple, but probably they won't be moving further. People will become more risk on, and they will push into the assets that did not pump yet on the marketplace, that have more upside currently, right? So it's a straightforward thought process. So we will have BTC Echo, then we have Politify around elections and things like that, because you cannot neglect trillions of dollars that are invested into attracting the attention and into getting the last voters, right, into the right candidate, the candidate that wants these voters. And I do expect Pepe to actually be pumping. Probably Ethereum in the first place. Ethereum will 100% will be following the BTC. I do expect from Ethereum to continue to pump with BTC, and Pepe and Ethereum pumpage will cause the pumpage in Boys Club meta, right? And after that, after Ethereum will be pumping, after we will essentially see certain like $100-150 per transaction on Ethereum, I expect the L2 season. This is the overview that I'm seeing for the upcoming metas on the marketplace. And I was quite spot on recently, if you would think about that. Even on the Memecoin metas out there, like I called Sui meme season, I called some movements on Nero as well. I called a bunch of shit, if you would think about that, right? So, except probably Murat hype, but despite the fact I was in some Murat coins. So, this is the overview This is the situation that I'm seeing that should be happening in the upcoming several weeks. If you're a crypto influencer, please remember one more time. If you're screaming about new all-time highs this month, you have to acknowledge, you have to say, I said it after Stan, I'm not the one making the rules, or you know who you are. Like, unfortunately, this is the way it is currently on the marketplace, right? In terms of other things, don't be a pussy, buy into your assets and hold them. I don't think we're going lower. The patterns on the chart, everything that's happening is exactly the same as it was a year ago. We have a very, very interesting and similar setup. The only thing I might be thinking about as well is gaming coins. We have Super that's kind of close to the previous local high that it had somewhere in the summer or even in spring, right? And Alex kind of looks bullish of the grid launch. So it's funny because with new BTC all-time high a year ago, exactly the same fucking thing can actually happen. Gaming was pumping that time and it can be pumping this time as well. But we're not talking about altcoins today. We might be talking about gaming. I do actually think I hold quite a huge supply of one of the best beta tokens for the off the grid, because Off the Grid actually hinted that they will be launching on the subnet of Alex. One more time, if you would like me to share gaming altcoin picks and the one I hold, 250 likes, guys. It's not that hard to do. Appreciate the daily work, the daily hustle that's actually is shared with you on a daily basis by me and my team as well. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Stay healthy and rich, and don't be fucking exit liquidity. Thank you. See you tomorrow.